Call to order the Board of County Commissioners regular meeting of May 14th, 2015. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance and the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, which is a symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. We today have a treat that we don't normally get to have. So if the audience will please stand, the Cobry Band is going to play the Star Spangled Banner for us. Thank you so much, Mr. Gearhart, and your band. And here in a few minutes, we're going to have a little recognition for you. Excuse me for a second.
I do a dance for everyone, but you wouldn't want to see that. We have in the past. Huh? We heard you singing and dancing in the past. So, no. Come on. Didn't see me. You're confused.
Sorry about that. That's a little attorney-client privilege, I assume. Okay. First item on the agenda is approve the regular meeting agenda. I actually think we ought to have a change here. I'd like to move the recognition of the 16-time state champion Cobry High Band up to immediately following the... Where do you want to put them? You want to put them before... Let's put them immediately following the public hearing. That way they can hear a little public input and a little public hearing, and we'll get you guys back to class. I'm sure you're so happy I did that.
It's time for you to get back to class, I know.
So, I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended, and I'll second that motion. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed unanimously. So the first item on the agenda is public input. During this portion of our meeting, we welcome your suggestions and want to hear your concerns. This is not a question and answer period. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. Any individual who would like to discuss an item in more depth may request to be placed on a future agenda. Request forms are available in the county manager's office. Now, that being said, we are also having a public hearing immediately following public input. So if you're here to speak concerning a 5-person commission, wait for the public hearing and you'll have your time there. So now public input is open. Anybody for public input? Yes, sir.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Go ahead and push the white button on the black right here on the... Yeah.
There?
State your name for the record.
My name is Howard Reinert. I'm a native son of New Mexico, ex-employee of the Grant County Assessor's Office, and I've received a letter from Grant County I'd like to read to you. Dear Mr. Reinert, I was notified that you have been harassing Grant County employee Randy Villa in the Grant County Administration Building. You have shouted at and/or cursed at Mr. Villa on at least 3 occasions in the past 4 months. This is not the first time you have engaged in hostile behavior at the county, and your behavior will not be tolerated. Moving forward, you are not to enter the administration building unless you have specific county business to attend to, such as paying taxes. You are not to enter the administration building for personal reasons, such as visiting friends. If you enter the administration building for specific county business, you are to promptly attend to your business. And if I fail to adhere to the directives in this letter, I will be reported to law enforcement for criminal trespass. And this is a continuation of bullying that does take place here in the county and specifically in the assessor's office. And that it's continuing after my leaving employment, I think is quite disturbing that somebody can go to the county manager, because I wonder if she even knows she wrote this letter, to say I'm shouting, cursing, and doing all this without proof. Now, there are signs out front that say audio and visual surveillance is on, so if you have proof of any of this, I would like to see it before I get letters telling me that I am not allowed into a public building because I am hostile, yelling, and cursing. My only crime is walking up to Mr. Villa and saying, "Hi, asshole." And that is not illegal, and I have checked it out with the police department. It is also not cursing, and it is not yelling. Thank you for your time.
Any other public input? Yes, Gabe. Hi, Mrs. Bell.
Good morning. I am Cecilia Bell, and normally here I'm with the Fort Bayard Associations. But today I'm representing OCTA, the Oregon California Trail Association, that the commissioners have brochures. But first of all, I would like to say hats off to our band. What a tremendous asset we have. I look at a lot of these kids and recognize them as 4th graders, 5th graders who have been out to Fort Bayard, and hats off. Many of you do not realize that we have a very important trail going through our area, not being the Continental Divide. The Butterfield Overland intersects the Continental Divide, and we know it as our Butterfield, but we don't think of it as going on to California, or where did it come from? The Oregon California Trail Association, which is stationed in Missouri, is now working to get the Southern Trails made a national trail. And at our meeting in April, it was decided that with the permission of the president of Western New Mexico University, archives would be sent to the library at Western concerning this trail, and that there would be 2 signs developed to go in our county, one in Silver City and one to be sited out in the community. The one in the community would recognize Kit Carson. Now, many of us think of Kit Carson and automatically you hit what he did to the Navajos. When Kit Carson was in Grant County, Kit Carson was a youngster. He was working for the mines that were being ran by the Mexican people out at Santa Rita. When it came time to work for the American military as a guide, he brought Kit Carson and Lieutenant Emery through the area. The sign in the county would reflect Kit Carson's work as a miner and a guide. The one in Silver City would then recognize General Kearney, Lieutenant Emery, and Kit Carson and their overnight stay there at San Vicente, the Springs, looking for water, where they then went on to Magna Springs, across into Arizona, and on to California, when we gained the territory of the West, and the West really became open. I have a major map, not just a little one, to be handed to Britt to keep and maybe to go in the manager's office. If there's any questions, feel free to contact me, and we would like to work on getting this sign together. Next month, I will bring the writing of the sign so that we can talk about where we would like to put it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work. Appreciate it, you and your group.
Further public input. Mr. Baldwin. Mr. Baldwin.
James Baldwin, county resident. I addressed the county commission before on this issue, and those are the recycle bins. The recycle bins that we have out here have not always been out here. Specifically, on the weekends of April 18th and 19th, the Saturday and Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, April 25th, 26th, and May 2nd and 3rd, the recycle bins were not out here for the public to dispose of their material that is going to be recycled. And I've been out there. I usually come up about every other day, and there were people standing out here or drive through, and well, I'll just take it, and so they would put it in a dumpster someplace. Whereas we, the people of Grant County, were losing on the recycling, and we were filling up our landfill with material that could have been sent to El Paso for a second or third life. I do want to commend the Solid Waste Management Group. I attended their meeting, and they found a way to save about $4,000 by changing auditors. They changed from one auditor, Fierro and Fierro, to a second auditor group, and in so doing, they saved about $4,000. In reading the newspaper recently, the town of Baird is some $250,000, $250,000, perhaps in debt. They are using the same, more expensive auditors, Fierro and Fierro. Maybe they could change to the same auditors that the Solid Waste Commission went to. I would like very much to see a solid waste bin such as we have out here at present down in the golf park area. This well-written article talks about little bins, little garbage can type things that will be situated around Golf Park to receive plastic water bottles and the like. But still, for all the people in this area, there needs to be a recycle bin where we can put cardboard, where we can put larger objects in, so that they can have a second and third life. I urge you to consider that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baldwin.
Thanks, sir.
Further public input. I'm going to go with Gabe. He's had his hand up the whole time. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Gabe Holguin with the Gila Fire Management Officer for the Gila National Forest. And I'd just like to give you an update on where we're at with fire activity on the Gila. So first I'll start with weather. The outlook continues to be above normal amounts of precip and cooler than normal temperatures for at least for the next 30 days. That's the latest outlook that I looked at this morning from the Climate Prediction Center. So it's still looking good. Fire activity has been really minimal on the forest. We've completed our prescribed burning, and we did some burns up near Reserve and then down here in the boroughs, and those are all completed. They went really well. And as far as fire activity goes, we've had a couple of 20-acre fires, one up on North Star Mesa and then one up just northeast of Reserve. So things have been really quiet. I'm still going to stick to my guns and say that we don't have the potential this year for any large fires, similar to the Signal, the Silver, the Whitewater Baldy. I think the opportunities for that are decreasing, as we move through May and through June. I still believe we're going to be busy with initial attack. I think we will have a heavy initial attack season and potential for smaller fires, 20, 10, 15, just smaller fires. I think the potential still exists for that. So that's where we're at. Actually I'm here supporting my son, Samuel Holguin, and he's part of the Cobre High School band, but I thought I'd take the opportunity to give you an update on where we were at. So.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Huh. How are you today, Linda?
My name is Linda Pafford. Thank you for this opportunity. I am here to speak about the recent news report on the Interstate Water Commission. It seems they have finally admitted that there is not going to be enough water, and they are asking that the residents pay increased taxes to cover the cost of their diversion project. They are also admitting that there is not sufficient water in the Gila to meet what they are anticipating to pull. So that would mean yet another scar on the landscape to create a diversion project over on the San Francisco. I am asking you today to reconsider your endorsement of that project. Thank you.
Thank you. Further public input.
Steve?
Steve Armendariz. I'm speaking as a resident of Grant County, not as a treasurer, but as a member of the community. I take exception. I heard some comments at the work session that I didn't fully understand, but through the grace of our newspapers and Grant County Beat, those comments that were made by the chairman kind of brought it home to me. And where I take exception is that the comment saying, and I quote, "You two make a terrific argument for something the public has been frustrated with for a long time." Commission Chair Brett Caston said that we have all these elected officials who can't work together as well as they could. Caston said that statute might need to be changed in the future to make working between offices an easier task. I agree and disagree. Okay? First of all, what we were trying to communicate, the assessor and myself, was that we are working together. Our offices have not always worked that well together, but that was with previous administrations. Okay. We are striving as much as we can to solve this problem. Now, I haven't heard from the general public the issues. I have brought it to this commission previously about the issues I was having with communications. Now, as far as the statutes go, We have worked diligently. The assessors affiliate and the treasurer's affiliate, I believe, got around 6 or 7 legislative pieces approved and by the legislature, and waiting for the governor's signature or whatever. Some of them have already become law. Which brings kind of the issue that I disagree on. The commission, for the past several years, has made it a policy of reserving rooms at the one motel up there in Albuquerque for the full legislative session. However, to my understanding, commissioners and perhaps staff have been the only ones that have been allowed to utilize those facilities. The other elected officials do not have the budget and do not have the opportunity to go, unless we go on our own dime, to go testify at these hearings for the state legislature. Even though we have had, and to me, that's part of the issue that we have had, and Mr. Hall, you have been selected as our new representative for the NMAC, for the county. I would just request that you go into all the offices, just as you do go out to Gila and your different constituencies to get the input from those people. Do you go into all of our offices? So far as I've been in 8 years in the treasurer's office, I have had commissioners and other people come in to pay their solid waste bills and pay their taxes, but never to come in and say, how's it going? What can we do? How can we work together? How can we improve the situation? And so on and so forth. So before comments are made that kind of make things difficult for us, or more difficult for us, I would appreciate that you guys go into everybody's places and talk to them and try to, get some feedback from them. It shouldn't be up to us to come to you. You're elected by each district. We're elected countywide. We have a bigger responsibility. Thank you.
Further public input?
Good morning. My name is Raul Turrieta, and I pretty much basculated about coming up here and say a few words about our elected officials. I walked in January 2nd of 2015 with open arms. I enjoy you people as elected officials, workers in the county manager's office. It has been a great sensation coming back after sitting out for 8 years as your assessor. This is my 35th year in the assessor's office, and I work for you people, the taxpayers, the property owners. This is who I'm here for. And I have never had an issue whatsoever with any of the elected officials. I enjoy my buddy Robsy, our county clerk, Steve Armendariz, Judge Hall. The other day, Judge Hall pulled me out of the office and said, we got to go look at a piece of property. I respect you for that, sir. You really care for you people. Thank you very much for doing that. The comment on the newspaper, I spoke to my wife. She told me, oh, there was a few comments in the newspaper last night. She didn't tell me about it until this morning. And I said, honey, why didn't you tell me anything? But I would just like to make a comment that I walked in with open arms. I walked into one of the biggest messes that Grant County has ever endured with our mapping department, our GIS, our parcel mapping. And guess what? We're doing a heck of a good job. I had the state of New Mexico here for 2 days communicating with us, making sure that our computers can be logged in and you can have the right information. Protest period is going on at this moment. I get here at 5 in the morning. My chief deputy, I need my chief deputy back. She comes in at 5 in the morning. She comes in both Saturdays and Sundays just to get caught up. I would like to say to the public that I work for is that I am going to do a heck of a job. I'm going to enjoy my elected officials, and most of all, I'm here for Grant County voters. Thank you very much.
Further public input? Seeing none, we'll move on to the public hearing. This is discussion of a proposed ordinance increasing the size of Board of Grant County Commissioners to 5 members pursuant to Article X, Section 7 of New Mexico Constitution, to be considered at the July 23rd, 2015 Commissioners meeting. There was a question at the end of at the end of last public hearing of why, and it was just that I have actually thought about that a little bit, and the reason why we're having these public hearings is because when all 3 of us, and I don't want to put any words in Commissioner Hall's mouth or Commissioner Ramos's mouth, however, I think they will both concur with what I'm going to say, is it's because when we were campaigning over the last couple of years, it was always a question that was asked at virtually every forum. This was a way we could find out truly what the constituents wanted. So we're holding hearings. This will be the second one? Third. No, this is second. It's May. So we'll have 2 more. And all we are merely doing is conducting hearings. At the end of that is when we will choose what we want to do. So at this time, we will stand for public input on public hearing on the ordinance increasing the size of Board of Grant County Commissioners. Yes, sir.
Is this still on? Good morning. Morning, Commissioners. My name is Shelby Hallmark, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Grant County Democratic Party. We commend the commission, the party does, for bringing up formal consideration of expansion to 5 districts and 5 commissioners. Expanding to 5 commissioners will provide greater access to this body by the residents of the county, more openness and breadth of discussion in commission deliberations, and a general improvement in the representation of the various localities and groups within the county. The current 3 districts are large and necessarily must combine disparate communities. Moving to 5 districts should allow for more compact and logical subdivisions, and by definition will make for a smaller cohort for each commissioner to represent. The expansion to 5 commissioners is a good government initiative, and the Grant County Democratic Party strongly supports its full and expeditious implementation. Thank you for the opportunity to express our views.
Further public input? Yes, ma'am. How are you doing?
Good morning. My name is Jody Pena-Osment. I'm a resident of Silver City. Mr. Chair, members of the board, after the last commission meeting, the Silver City Daily Press ran an article on the front page with the headlines that read, "Residents show little interest in a 5-member commission." So that is why I'm here today to speak on the 5-member commission. I do not feel we are a big enough county to warrant a 5-member commission. Even if you're going off based on the census includes all members of the household, which is head of household, children, nieces, nephews, cousins, grandparents, and so on. But of those numbers taken by the census, how many are registered voters? By adding 2 more members to the Board of Commission at 24,960 times 2 equals 49,920.32, plus the cost to redistrict, plus the cost for consultants, plus the cost for voting, which would cost the taxpayer an incredible amount of money. I know that the people are always scratching their heads, wondering why there is such a low turnout during elections. It's probably because of the redistricting we currently have. When we go to vote, we are more or less told who to vote for. and sent to voting centers. I know that's how I feel about it. I would prefer to vote for whomever I want to vote for and not be able to go and vote at the designated voting places we had before the voting centers were brought into play. One more thing, the monies that would be used for redistricting, hiring consultants, and voting could be better used elsewhere in the county, that where there wouldn't be a budget cuts or budget crunches. All departments would have monies to operate at ease. Mr. Chair, members of the board, I thank you for your time.
Any further public input? Yes.
Good morning, Chairman Caston and Commissioners. My name is Kim Clark, and I am a fifth-generation Grant Countyan. I'd like to commend you for taking this process on of exploring a five-man commission. I am one of the people that has always been in favor of it. I'm one of the ones that have always asked, will you please consider it? So I would like to say I support it, and I thank you.
Thank you. Linda?
Mr. Chairman and Board, my name is Linda Pafford, and am I here? I also am responding to the newspaper article which suggested that you have not received sufficient public input. I cannot speak to which district because I don't know the town that well. I am a rural resident, and I believe that our population is such that we do need to cut down on the population that each commissioner must represent. I also believe that we need to have the division in such a manner that the rural residents have a voice rather than it all being pinwheeled out of Silver City. So I am here to say I am in favor of a five-man commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Five.
I was going to say, it's person, because you guys may want to run. Good morning.
Good morning. Brett, Ron, Steve, Raul, you guys are great. And also Raul. I want to thank you all for serving us and the county. My name is Lorna Rubelman, and I'm a resident of Silver City. And I am really for the five-member commission, and right now I think it would address some of the problems that the lady that isn't for it, as far as voter turnout. Right now, you guys represent 10,000 people, more or less. And with five members, there would be 5,000 to 6,000 people. And that is good because there are sectors in this community, including the rural one and the arts district, I call it, or the downtown area. I mean, there are sectors, and so I would not only support the five-member commission, but I would also ask that you, in considering the mapping of that, pay special attention to the rural, to the mining district, to downtown art district, or call it what you will, to the way that it's mapped to get those 5,000 to 6,000 people that each commission would represent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Further public input. Mr. Baldwin. I'll get you next, Mr. Harrison. Commissioner Harrison.
Thanks, Bill.
You're next.
James Baldwin, District 3 County resident. My wife and I are both registered Democrats. Sorry, he left. We are opposed to the 5-person commission because of ignorance. We do not know anything about it. Sure, 5 people, but what is the cost going to be for the individuals? What about your discretionary spending fund? Is that going to be increased? Is that going to go up or go down? Will you have the 5 people using the same discretionary funding that you 3 commissioners have? What about the salaries? Will your salary be divided amongst 5 people, or will we have an additional, as Ms. Osmond suggested, $49,000 tax burden to us? What about going to Santa Fe? We haven't been informed of any of these things, and I don't know how in the world that we could ever make a decision without knowing the costs that are going to be involved. I feel, as well as my wife feels, that if a person is going to vote, come hell or high water, they will vote, whether it's a 3-district or whether it's a 5-district. It doesn't matter one bit. People are going to vote. Just as if they're going to recycle, they will recycle. If not, everything goes to the landfill. We do not know when a possible election would be for the 5-person versus 3 people commissioner. Is that going to be imminent? Is it going to be off in the distant future? Will it be in 2016? Lobbying costs. Will there be 5 people going to Santa Fe to lobby, or only 3? Who's going to pay for those extra people if it's approved? There's so much that wife and I have not been informed of, that we don't feel that we could make an intelligent decision other than just say, keep the status quo. If a person is going to vote, they will vote. If they're not, they won't. Thank you. Stay with 3.
Mr. Harrison? Commissioner Harrison from the 1993, I believe? Is that about right?
That's correct. For you that don't know me, I'm James W. Bill Harrison. I came here in 1969 as city manager, came down from Alaska. I want to speak to you from experience on this commission matter. I am strongly in favor of the 5-man commission. Some of my credentials of why I can speak to this: I'm a 20-year member of the Oklahoma Bar Association, a 20-year member of the International City Manager Association, taught business law for 17 years up here at the Western New Mexico University. I've served on nearly every private or public community or governmental function in this county at one time or another since I came here. I helped develop the county form of government in the state of Alaska after territorial time. I sat on the commission with Ruel Kilcher, who you all see his family on the History Channel with the homesteaders up there. That's the family of the man that helped decide what we would have as a government in Alaska. We decided, because he came from Switzerland and did not like anything from the southern part of the United States, South 48, we called them boroughs rather than counties, but they have basically the same thing. We wrestled with 2 forms of county government. One is where the state lets the county do everything they do not stop by law. The other is where counties can only do what the state lets them do. Unfortunately, New Mexico is where the counties can do only what the state allows them to do. Fortunately, the Constitution provides that you can go to a 5-man commission. I had the good fortune to serve this county as county commissioners 1993 and part of 92 and 94. I ran against one of my friends who was my friend during the campaign and still is. We have a different philosophy on government. I won every precinct besides one, and I lost it. There were 7 votes. I got 3, and he got 4. Coming in, I thought I had somewhat of a mandate to get in here and try to do something. Unfortunately, along with me were elected 2 other gentlemen who were strong in their beliefs and their opinions and did not like each other and did not work together. Most of the time I was on the commission, I was trying to arbitrate or settle disputes that were caused by the difference in opinions that these gentlemen had. They both were sincere and honest in what they were trying to do, but one of them approached it from a rude, crude, personal manner, and it was difficult to handle matters that he brought up because he had already insulted everybody before we started talking about the issue. The other basically represented the Patroni of Grant County, who really ran Grant County for many years, whether he was in office or was not in. To try to get something accomplished during that with those 2 people, even though they were both sincere and dedicated in what they do, was almost impossible. I think we were the most ineffective, worst county commission this county has ever had. And I'm sorry to say, in my entire governmental life, and I have been in local government life since 1950, when I closed my law office in Oklahoma and went to Texas to study to be a city manager. I think we're the worst you had. I certainly think we would have been able to do a lot more if I'd had somebody to work with who wanted to work together. A 5-man commission is absolutely essential for good government in this county. If we do not get it, we will continue to go where we can't have personalities of 1 or 2 people that make it impossible to accomplish what you would like to do. The things we did when I was a county commissioner were more of an arbitrary nature rather than a constructive nature. I don't want ever to see this county to be in that position again. One other thing is, we were told by our attorney that we could not be in the same place at the same time, 2 of us, without having published it at least 3 days ahead of time. That meant that 2 of us couldn't go to a funeral, 2 of us couldn't attend the Democratic Party meeting, 2 of us couldn't go to the same church, 2 of us couldn't do anything where we were both at the same place without publishing it. If you had a 5-man commission, a commissioner would have a little more freedom in their life to live their life as they should do it. As strongly as I can, I recommend that you do take this action. I brought it up several times when I was county commissioner, and every time it was opposed by some people, and one of the gentlemen is still here and still opposes with dignity and properly as he should do. That's his opinion. But I never got a second to the motion even to consider it. We're fortunate now that we have 3 commissioners who will look at it openly and publicly and decide what's best for the good of the citizens. The money that it will cost is nothing compared to what will be saved in efficiency and good government by having a broader base for it. Now, in closing on a little personal nature, next month I'll be 93 years old. I'm almost blind, and I am handicapped, but I still have my bucket list. And high on my bucket list is hoping to live to see till Grant County has a 5-man commission. And you can make that possible. Let's pull that out of my bucket. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Harrison.
I'm not going to stay because I need to get back to my recliner. But thank you for allowing me to speak.
Okay. Is there any further public input on the... Seeing none, we're going to move on to the amended agenda, which is item D. This is recognition of the 16-time, let me get to it here, 16-time state champion Cobre High School Band. Denisha, would you please read the proclamation?
Thank you. County of Grant Proclamation. Whereas the governing body of the County of Grant, having learned of the accomplishments of the Cobre High School Concert Band, does hereby extend its recognition. And whereas the Cobre High School Concert Band of the Cobre Consolidated School District in Bexar, New Mexico, participated in the 2015 New Mexico Activities Association State Concert Band Competition held in Albuquerque, New Mexico on April 24th and 25th, 2015. And whereas the band's victorious performance earned them state competition in the Class 4A category, making this their 16th state championship. And whereas all members of the Cobre High School Concert Band are to be commended for their musical accomplishments and their exemplary dedication to excellence. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the governing body of the County of Grant that congratulations and recognition is extended to the Cobre High School Concert Band for their superior musical talent and success.
Thank you very much, Denisha. Can I get a motion to approve the proclamation?
So moved.
And I second it. Any discussion on that motion? Mr. Gearhart, would you like to say a few words before we vote? You're not at a loss for words, are you?
Usually not. I just want to thank Commissioner Caston, the members of the board, everybody in Grant County who supports us. I do believe this. I mean, we don't talk a whole lot about it in the program, but I think the kids, one of the things the students really do enjoy is representing not only our high school, but our community and our county at a high level. They're very good. They had to bail us out a little bit. I kind of came down with a little cold before state, and they had to kind of pull together. They're just great about it, and they do enjoy performing well. They enjoy performing at a high level, and they enjoy representing our school and everybody here in Grant County at a high level. So we just want to thank you so much for your support of us, and we'll continue to do the best job we can and try to make decent human beings out of them, so when they come out here they can be successful. That they know that. I talk about that a lot. So thank you very, very much for your support. We appreciate it.
Is there any further discussion on the motion today? Anybody else want to say something? Okay. Seeing none, then all those in favor, signify by voting aye. Aye. Motion passes. Mr. Gearhart, if you'll bring your band up here, we're going to present you with this proclamation.
We don't have the budget to replace that
If you can't see me with both eyes, there's nothing to picture.
Okay, now Dan. You there? Okay. Would me one little favor? One little time. This is your audience. Okay, we can get back to the mundane part of business. Next item on the agenda is minutes. Item A.
Chair?
Yes.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes for April the 23rd, 2015, the regular meeting.
I'll second that motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Financial reports. Charlene, you want to go through the expenditure report first?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Hall, the expenditure report for period ending 5/11/2015 consists of accounts payable checks in a total of $1,403,626, beginning check number 174563 through ending check number 174877. Those AP checks include check number 174588 to the Tri-City Landfill Authority for monitoring fees in the amount of $27,205. Check number 174597 to Fuel Center Plus for diesel in the amount of $16,594.60. Check number 174625 to Malloy Dodge for the purchase of a 2014 Police Charger and 2015 Dodge 1500 in the amount of $50,484. Check number 174641 to Ascent Aviation Group for Jet A air fuel for the airport in the amount of $17,451.83. And finally, check number 174664 to the New Mexico Human Services Department for Safety Net Care Pool payment in the amount of $271,114.55. Also included in this expenditure report are payroll checks for pay period 9 in the amount of $206,378.05 for a grand total of $1,610,004.05.
Motion to approve May 11th, 2015 expenditure report.
Second. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Can you go through the cash flow analysis for us?
Yes, sir. Cash flow analysis for the general fund for report for period ending 2/28/2015. Actual cash balance as of July 1, 2014, $2,379,621. Revenues year-to-date, $5,909,434. Transfers year-to-date, $1,268,910. Operating expenditures year-to-date, $2,115,077. Salaries and benefits year-to-date, $3,997,536. We have projected transfers in of $432,960. Projected transfers out to other funds, $1,445,892. Projected revenues, $5,527,467. Projected operating expenditures, $679,805. Projected salaries and benefits, $2,306,765, resulting in a cash balance at the end of the fiscal year 6/30/2015 in the amount of $2,435,496, resulting in a surplus of $73,443. The road fund, actual cash balance as of July 1, 2014, $120,460. Year-to-date revenues, $424,881. Year-to-date transfers, $333,216. Operating expenditures year-to-date, $180,967.16. Salaries and benefits year-to-date, $864,338. Projections transfers in through 6/30/2015, $506,238. Projected revenues, $462,193. Projected operating expenditures, $173,043. Projected salaries and benefits, $433,861, resulting in a cash balance at the end of the fiscal year 6/30/2015 in the amount of $194,779, leaving a surplus of $57,095. In the corrections fund, the actual cash balance as of July 1, 2014, $26,163. Revenues year-to-date, $733,099. Transfers year-to-date, $835,132. Operating expenditures year-to-date, $431,123. Salaries and benefits year-to-date, $1,329,534. Projections through June 30, transfers in, $835,132. No projected transfers out. Projected revenues of $240,547. Projected operating expenditures, $217,737. Projected salaries and benefits, $677,532, leaving a projected cash balance at the end of the fiscal year, June 30, 2015, of $14,145.
Thank you very much, Charlene. Okay, moving on to new business. Approve or disapprove a proclamation declaring the week of May 30th through June 6th as First New Mexico Bank Wild Wild West Pro Rodeo Week. Nisha, would you please read that proclamation?
Thank you. Grant County Proclamation. Whereas the Southwest Horsemen's Association and Pete Cars Classic Pro Rodeo will be presenting the First New Mexico Bank Wild Wild West Pro Rodeo in Grant County, New Mexico. And whereas the Wild Wild West Pro Rodeo is celebrating its 25th year in Grant County in 2015. And whereas cattle ranching was created by the earliest settlers of the North American continent. And whereas ranching has been a major contributor to the history, customs, culture, and romance of Grant County. And whereas the sport of rodeo perpetuates and keeps these qualities alive. And whereas the Wild Wild West Pro Rodeo is one of Grant County's major tourist attractions, and spectators, tourists, and rodeo cowboys and cowgirls from throughout the West will converge in Grant County for this annual event. Now therefore be it resolved that the governing body of the County of Grant does hereby proclaim the week of May 30th through June 6, 2015 as the First New Mexico Bank Wild Wild West Pro Rodeo Week.
Nisha, any motion?
Motion to approve the following, motion to approve the proclamation declaring the week of May the 30th through June 6, 2015 as First New Mexico Bank Wild Wild West Pro Rodeo Week.
And I second that motion. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Bill Brad Bowles.
Hi, Kim. I'm not tickling you.
Commissioner, is it on? Is it on? Commissioner Caston and Commissioner Hall, thank you very much. I want to make a couple of points. In the proclamation, it doesn't it does not note that our wonderful title sponsor, First New Mexico Bank, is also celebrating 25 years of business in Grant County. We're very appreciative of their sponsorship. Yesterday, I happened to look back at the contestant list for last year's rodeo, and we brought in 399 cowboys and cowgirls to Grant County last year over the rodeo. That doesn't include all of the people that come in from the southwest New Mexico for other events that we have, such as team opening. So we are an economic driver in this community. I want to thank the commission for allowing us to use the term romance of rodeo in our proclamation. At the recent Cowbells shindig, there was a print that I'm sure many of you have seen. It's a big, long photograph that was taken at the Grant County Sheriff's Posse. I've been sitting here for the last 10-15 minutes trying to remember the date. I'm thinking thank you, Commissioner Caston, I figured you would probably know that. If you look at that picture, it is a phenomenal photograph. The things that struck me when I've seen it my whole life living here, but the thing that struck me looking at it while we were getting ready for the shindig is that if you think about the population of Grant County in 1935, I think every single person in Grant County is in that photograph. Again, I want to thank the Commission for recognizing us and honoring us with this proclamation. We hope you all come join us at the rodeo. Thank you.
Do you have some guests with you want to introduce?
I do. I have some fellow board members. I have Marcy Brown, who is on the Southwest Horsemen's Board, and I have Tiffany Brown, who is our treasurer. They will be accepting this proclamation with me.
Thank you very much. We already voted? Did we vote? Okay. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. If you'll come up, we'll give this to you. Item F, approve or disapprove the following persons to be appointed or reappointed to the Grant County DWI Planning Council. It's, I'm just going to read their names. Heidi Ogas, Mike Bergree, Lee Mullen, Kathy Hunt, John Hogeen, Brett Jensen, and Kendra Milligan.
Make a motion to approve the following persons named as submitted by the Grant County DWI Planning Council to the DWI Council Planning Council.
And I second that motion. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. G, approve or disapprove the appointment of Michelle Giese, RN, to the Grant County Food Policy Council.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. I need an aye.
Aye. Yeah.
Motion passes.
I'll go on the next one.
Oh, good. Overachiever. All right, approve or disapprove the purchase of a Type 6 brush truck in the amount of $139,917 for the Whiskey Creek Volunteer Fire Department. That's coming out of, the payments that come out of fire funds, right? Okay.
So moved.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, contracts and agreements. Approve or disapprove agreement number A1508, an agreement between the New Mexico Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management and Grant County obligating award document for $45,000 to update the mitigation plan.
Motion to approve agreement A1508.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Approve or disapprove agreement number A1509, agreement between New Mexico Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management and the Grant County for 2013 Emergency Management Performance Grant Program in the amount of $2,747.18.
Motion to approve agreement A1509.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Bids. Approve or disapprove RFP 1402 for airport engineering services. We have to mention who we're going to approve there. Bohannon.
Bohannon, Houston.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to approve RFP 1402, and that bid would be going to Bohannon, Houston, bid 552.
There's a motion, and I second it, to approve RFP 1402, awarding that to Bohannon, Houston. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Can I get a motion to recess the Grant County Board of Commissioners? Second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Call to order the Grant County Indigent Health Plan Claims Board. One item on the agenda, approve or disapprove the health plan claims for April 30th. It's $39,647.88, 57 claims from Gila Regional Medical Center, 2 of those being ambulance.
Motion to approve the health plan claims for April the 30th, 2015.
I second that motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Can I get a motion to adjourn the Grant County? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Called back to order the Grant County Board of Commissioners, and we'll stand for the County Assessor Report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board members, county manager, attorney, elected officials. For starters, I would like to thank my staff. Jennifer Barraza is my chief deputy. She's really been involved with the GIS parcel mapping, and she's done a heck of a good job. Misty Trujillo, my chief appraiser, and Kerry Powell, one of my appraisers, and then we brought in a temp, and his name is Gabriel Grado, and he's done an exceptional job. We mailed out the notice of valuation come May 30th. The last day to contest your valuation will be June 1st for 2015. At this time, we can still accept head of household exemptions, veteran exemptions, 100% disabled exemptions, and done the 65 freeze on the elderly. This year, we were very successful with our bills up in Santa Fe. They've had 6 bills coordinating not only with the assessor's office, but also with the treasurer's office. And I'm just going to go ahead and name them, and if you need anything more in detail, I'll get it on over to you guys. We have House Bill 49, providing a certain notice by electronic mail. House Bill 67, making changes to the tax schedule, expanding grounds for which a property owner may request a change to the property tax schedule. House Bill 248, adjust the qualification of the incentive pay for the appraisers in the assessor's office. Senate Bill 112, expanding the definition of agricultural for property valuation purposes to include the resting of the land, certain conditions with droughts. Senate Bill 348, providing an exemption from the imposing of a special benefit for the disabled veterans. Senate Bill 506, providing the disabled veteran property tax exemption may remain a substantial transfer property or may attach to the property. And that one, we were working quite diligently on that, and I'm so glad that the governor signed. All these 6 bills were signed by the governor. Yesterday, we had Larry Brockman, the GIS coordinator of the state of New Mexico, working under Taxation and Revenue Division. He spent 2 days here working on our computers and our licensings, and I'm so grateful that he was down here, that he completely worked on all our systems, where all our systems are going to communicate not only with the parcel mapping, but also with our GIS. It was a very extensive meeting on the licensing, not only who gets the primary license or the secondary, but the interesting thing about it is that we're going to have this ARC reader that any computer in this county can be utilized, and we can be all on the same page on all our parcels. I'm quite happy that it took us 5 months to really get things together with just this parcel mapping. I need my chief deputy. Let me tell you, she's been very diligent on this mapping, and I'm so glad that she has the experience on GIS, the experience on parcel mapping, and I thank the retired mapper. She has been working 15 hours a week, and we have pretty much caught up in a lot of the 2014 deeds. We're in the process of still trying to get caught up for the 2015 deeds. We have positions in the assessor's office open. We have 2 positions as an appraiser 1. We have 1 title examiner, and I want to thank graciously to our county manager on helping us out on that. And we have a appraiser's 4 position open at this moment. It is posted in the newspaper, and if anybody wants to come down, they need to file and go to the HR in the county manager's office. I want to thank the commission, the elected officials, and hope that we can work together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is commissioner comments. Commissioner Hall? Oh, he's got a page.
No, that's just one I used in the past. Activities since the last time we had a regular commission meeting is that the committee and myself continue to work on our animal ordinance. It's come along really well, and I'm hoping maybe we'll be getting something to Abby soon, and then we can start getting comments from the citizens as far as having it available to them, so we can go through that process. Also attended, as did Commissioner or Chairman Caston, the Bouquet Air roundtable presentation that we had with the Air Service. We didn't sit together. We were at a distance and didn't speak. But it was quite enlightening and gave some figures and stuff that was covered by the news media. It looks like a success, and it's something that I think that the community can be proud of. Also participated with the DWI folks, with Cindy, in another day in the life of a DWI out at the Cliff with our 8th graders and seniors, I believe they were, where we did took them through the whole process from the point of being arrested and saw them handcuffed and taken through this different processes that you would go through as far as getting a DWI, and then I did the sentencing on them. So that was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it. I did. Let's see here. Also, I would like to thank the elected officials for their confidence in me in voting me as their NMAC representatives. Thank you. So that's it.
Thank you very much.
And we will be in touch, just like I was with our treasurer the other day, and just like I've been with our assessor.
So I've been spending a lot of time with the Extension Service the last couple of weeks with their state contests and their youth. They took 21 youth to Raton, to the Whittington Center. We had the High Point Archer and the High Point team. We also had several other teams placed in the top 10. So I was really proud to be a part of that experience with those kids. as an outgoing member of the INMAC board, there's just a lot going on up there. It's kind of like herding cats, though. Anytime you get 33 people in a building and you only have 4 hours to have a meeting, it's a whirlwind experience in the biggest fun of the word. But I think, Judge, Commissioner, you will really enjoy it.
I'm looking forward to it. I really
smell the flowers when you're there, because you don't really think you have time, but you do. We're getting very well. We poured the footings on the evidence vault for the sheriff's department, so it's moving along. The plans for the convention center are kind of on hold for a minute, but we have had some floor plans, so we're moving along. And then we still have the continuum of care center, and they're having meetings on that monthly. So with that being said, I would take a motion to adjourn. Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Oh, we're going to have executive sessions. Never mind. So do we need to take that off or scratch that? Reopen? What do we?
Can you reopen the meeting again?
Okay.
I need to give a decision.
We don't have to do the flag or anything, just call the meeting.
Okay, so we're going to do an executive session, so we're going to recall the meeting back to order, just like we always do. So call the Board of County Commissioners to order, and at this time, we're going to go into executive session pursuant to NMSA 1978-10-15 1H7. This is going to discuss threatened or pending litigation regarding the governor's line item veto of the Sunset Clause in Senate Bill 268 from 2013 legislative session. Can I get a motion to go into executive session? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Roll call, please, Rob.
Chairman Caston, are you aware that you will be entering into executive session?
I am.
Commissioner Hall, are you aware that you'll be entering into executive session?
I am. This time we're in executive session. We will adjourn from executive session. We will not come back.